every day I saw that a child being carried to the graveyard. You can imagine as a young little girl, 8 years old, how did I feel? Not only that, my own mother had 16 pregnancies. From 16 pregnancy, my mother has 5. Every day in front of my eyes, my mother was bleed to death almost. I was afraid. Any day, I am going to lose my mother. That fear was in here. That's the reason I wanted to be a doctor. But also, as a child, I think I was a rebel. I was a troublemaker. You know why I was a troublemaker? I was fighting for justice. I went to school. Every day in school, I saw that the poor is suffering. The one who is different is suffering. The one is from this ethnic group or that ethnic group is suffering. I was fighting for them. I put myself into a lot of trouble. Sometimes even my father needed to come to school to rescue me because I was fighting teachers, fighting students, trying to defend those people. And you know, when you live in a country at that time to see the need, then you cannot rest. I was in this country. Russia invaded Afghanistan. I was like you, one of those students that constantly watching BBC News, hearing BBC News in the radio, and following what's happening to my country. I followed that what the Russians did in my country, what the Russians did to my people. It was a lot of pain. But still I could not feel the pain that those people were feeling. There were months and years that I didn't know my family are alive or dead. But I knew that I have to stay and study because I had a mission. I have to complete my education, like you do. So finally, when I finished, I decided I must go back to Afghanistan. At the time, there was a civil war inside Afghanistan. Mujahideen were fighting. I could not go inside. So I went to Pakistan in the refugee camp. You know, 7 million people were in refugee camp in Pakistan. 1.5 million people were in Iran. 1.5 million Afghans were killed. This is statistically, you can check anywhere you want. So, you can imagine how I felt about Afghanistan. As you hear me, I love my country. I'm a very nationalistic individual. I love my country, I love my people, and when I hear those news, I could not be here. I went to the refugee camp. I went to the refugee camp trying to help. When you see everywhere around you, camp after camp, people are with men or without men, family with children. They lost father, they lost mother, they lost brother, sister. They are devastated, they are poor. The Pakistani government, the Pakistani soldier rape into their campsite, do anything they want to, take anything they want to. Because they are refugees, they cannot say anything. It's just, again, another nightmare. Another nightmare. You see that international organizations are there, UN are there. They are trying to help, but what kind of help? They are there to come and go. Their heart is not there. You need somebody with the heart to be there, to really reach out for those people. And somebody with the heart, one person, what can do? Nothing, not that much. That was the moment that I said, what changed my life? Why I am the person who I am? What did help me? What did help me to bring my family to the United States? What did help me to have a studies in life? Education. And at that moment, I knew that if anything changed the life of these people, it's going to be education. And since then, in the refugee camp, we started program. But what kind of program? You can see that education is very important. But what kind of education? Is that enough to read and write? Is that enough to give somebody some food? Is that enough to give people clothing? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because people need life skill. People need to know what is their right. People need to know what is freedom. People need to defend themselves, be able to speak out. People need to be able to be free to write. That is education they need. In order to get that education, how you go about it? Are you going to go by rote memorization, which when I was in school, I was doing? No one learned anything. Or they are going to learn just because they are set from first grade to 12th grade? Not that I think. When I came to the United States, my education level was maybe 4th grade, although I was the first one in my class. We didn't learn to think. We didn't learn how to ask questions. And that's why I was here, I was there. I was there to create a system of education, that through that system of education, critical thinking takes place. And that we did. How we could do that? Doing that by a teacher training. To train the teacher how to teach the students innovatively. How to teach students to be creative. How to work with students in an environment that is a friendly environment, students, teacher. Friendly environment between students and parents. Friendly environment between teacher and family of the students, parents. And that we went after it. It wasn't easy. Even in the Peshawar, Pakistan, life wasn't easy. It has all its challenges. I'm not going to talk to you about how difficult it was. It was difficult. Every time that I went to Akbar meeting, I was in the steering committee member. I sit on those conference rooms, surrounded by all these international people who want to help, but I was in one side and everybody else in one side. I said teacher training, they said no, first grade through third grade. I said teacher training, they said no, just only books. I said no, salary. They avoid to give salary for the teacher. I said books, parents, one way or another way they can provide. But salary, a teacher needs salary. If you really want the teacher to teach good, that teacher needs to have salary. If you have a good teacher, it will keep the students inside the classroom. Have teacher training. If you really want to educate the Afghan students, you must give them a curriculum that they will be able to have a skill, they will be able to think, and they will be able to rebuild Afghanistan. Yes, they are refugees here, but they are going back to Afghanistan, and they need to rebuild Afghanistan. First grade to third grade is not going to be sufficient. And that's the reason that we started from first grade to 12th grade and opened university in the refugee camp. And do you know that our students were very challenged, and they were the smartest students you can imagine. They learned, they were enthusiastic, they didn't sit in the camp, they came by themselves, they never skipped the classes, they had good attendance, and we managed to have from 300 students to 15,000 students in 1 year in Peshawar, Pakistan. From 300 to 15,000 students, 27 schools. It was challenging. It was hard. Money was not there. American already left. Because Russian left, Americans were not going to give any more funding. Program after program were closed. But we managed to do it. We managed to do it. What it made us to go to Afghanistan? The news spread all over that in Pakistan, in Peshawar, people are learning very good skill. And they are